All right, perfect. Welcome, guys. If you are on YouTube, welcome. A quick reminder to click that like button and share with a friend. Sharing is caring. And yeah, I see 3x left. What's up, bro? Do you have any questions? Please write it down. What is up? All right. Or you're
People
just finding
reported
your way around?
them a long time ago.
Hey,
If they haven't already
Hot
sold,
Mike JR. What's
they
up,
should
bro?
by now know what the value.
Why am I a speaker?
Because you're a samurai, you can jump in and out of the stage as you please.
Sounds good.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna move you right to the audience. Whenever you are ready or whenever you want to, just jump in. And of course, any samurais in the chat room, you guys can jump in at pleasure. And of course, participate in the classes. So we have crypto bubbles right now. Everything it's in the red, of course, because we had Bitcoin retracing for a little bit, and this is not new. We were expecting that, right? Yesterday we were talking about a possibility to create maybe and head and shoulders in here, right? From previous week, so throughout Friday and the weekend, I was expecting for Bitcoin to move slightly up throughout Friday, maybe make a fake out on this trend line, all right, and then right away retrace. It did not went farther up, but as we talked about yesterday, well then, because of the resistance and the support that we have in here, which is a parallel channel, right? Look at that, it is basically the same movement, slightly below because we're breaking that channel.
I still can't hear you.
You gotta be kidding me, really?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
You gotta be kidding me. What? Oh, that is hilarious. I don't know.
What the? I restarted everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't changed anything. My audio's the same. Check.
Your output. Your output in Discord. Oh, sorry, your input. Ah. Yeah. You have me muted. Maybe. All right. So we'll figure it out. If not, well, they'll be fine. We can cheer for Alex. So what we got in here, basically, a run up that was frustrated in here. We need to retrace a little bit earlier that we were expecting. Let me start clearing this up. If you can see here, we have a support zone which also matches very closely with my two lines of support. Let me start cleaning this up, and we're gonna be redrawing stuff because here is an important line, and this is the daily reactor, daily dynamic reactor, right? So I think that is gonna be it. These two lines are manually placed in here because the order blocks and also liquidity zones that they were there in the past, right? Very important zones that they act as a support and then they act as a resistance, right? So at this point, what happens? Previous supports becomes new resistance, then previous resistance becomes new support. Something important here is that we have dynamic reactor coming in strong. This is the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the daily, because daily, the reactor, it's also catching up to 4 hours reactor. So look at where is our reactor at this point. This is the daily, right? Our dynamic reactor here. It matches with this line, this blue line right down here, which is the support of the megaphone that we were trading here. Remember, this was a double bottom that we traded, and then a re-entry right here, all right? And then the last re-entry here, and we called out this entry right there, and we keep holding this entry all the way up until we start losing a trend line. Which trend line, man? I see a bunch of them. Well, we need to look at, for example, this area, and then the new one. Well, then we already have two of those, right? So it seems like we already are losing it, right? If you remember when I started, the class, I mentioned Can you guys see me and hear me? Let me see. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. OC, yes, guy, perfect. Love it. Oops. All right. Perfect. All right, let's continue then. So what happens here? Here's where it makes much more sense, right? Remember at the beginning of the class, right? I mentioned, hey, we could be forming a head and shoulders, right? And we're on the zone. Look at what happened here: bottom, top, something like a bottom, kind of like trending on this median, right? Now that we have lost the median, we can go farther down, maybe trend something like that, right? Let me be a little more something like this, right? So we could be having a head and shoulders at these zones, right? So what did I told you that we should be careful and we could start looking for some support and also don't hold me accountable, right? Because I mean, despite today could be a great day, well, we could also be having a dump, all right? I know, up or down, right? What other direction, man? You're not telling me anything. So this is the point. We're getting close to a bouncing zone. In fact, we are almost there on a bouncing zone, right? Where is my bouncing zone? This whole channel. What am I looking to find a bounce? I'm looking for the flip of the ribbon, right? What else? I'm looking for some other confluence. Which other confluence do I have? Well, then I can start using my indicators to find that confluence, right? Just in case you're new here, I look at how many indicators do I have, and if you read them, you'll see that they are mostly replicated or duplicated indicators, right? I do advise you to go to important classes or class recordings and look for my layered indicator settings, all right? So I go for each and individual layer, I explain you what do I have used on that layer and why, what is the logic behind it. Just bear in mind that, for example, despite this is a Market Oracle Pro Plus, right? And I can turn it on and off, sorry. The next one is also the same one, but it looks different. What is it looks different? Because I use different indicators inside of each layer. Like in the main one, you'll see that I have trendy, 43, max profit, take profit, God mode, and prophecy max profit, dynamic reactor, candle highlights, and that is basically it, right? The next one, you'll see that I only have all of the reactors turned on, all right? So
Go
that
OC.
is, yeah,
Go
what's
OC.
up? Yeah,
Go
can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I'm on my. I can hear you, but
Oh.
I can't. My computer's not working. I'm on my phone right now, restarting my computer again.
I see. Don't worry, man. I mean, you can figure it out. I can cover for today, and yeah.
You gave me your Mexican connection.
Yeah, so of course, man. Mexico, #1 exporter of bad internet, man. Counterfeit fiber.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna
shit.
keep trying, man. Should be okay. Everything
Absolutely.
else was working, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it could be your input from Discord. Sometimes it gets switched. I don't know if you already have looked at it. If you have, I don't know, maybe Elgato stuff could be. I don't know what you're using to manage your sound. But yeah,
I'll do something. I'll make it work.
perfect.
Hopefully it
If
works
not,
this time. See you soon.
absolutely. If not, don't worry, my friend. I can cover it for today. Maybe your computer needs some chill out. Maybe too much profit.
gonna make it work.
All right.
I got FOMO.
Nice. Love it. All right. He's got FOMO. Let's get it. All right. So what we got in here, it is a possible head and shoulders, right? So what do we need for that head and shoulders to actually kind of look like one, right? So we have left shoulder, we have the head, right? And then we're looking for however is it gonna look like, right? I'm not gonna be coming here and pretend that I know now. I can and I will be guiding you on how I would take a advanced approach to it, right? So start looking where can I maybe start forming that support and resistances, right? I do see this resistance. I do see the support, and this support, right? But all the way down here, like previously, could be the result of it, right? So let's just ignore this one all the way down here for now. Now let's start adding my confluence, right? Where is this? Look at that. I can turn things on and off. That's why it's important to layer your indicators, because at this point you can use different tools, right? And keep your charts clean. Like, let me give you an example. Let me just turn off every single manual line that I've done. All right, this looks clean. What if I turn everything on? You see that this start getting a little bit awful very quick. Hey, what's up, bro?
I can't hear you still. I'm here though.
Really? What would that be, man?
So I'm here.
Yeah, sure.
I can't hear you though. I haven't changed shit, man.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
You can hear me, so I can talk shit. I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Oh man.
Fucking OC microphone, man. He keeps switching it. I'm long, by the way.
You're long, by the way.
Like
All right.
Kong.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Bring it up. Bring it up.
You're watching me. We're gonna do hand signals now. I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Yeah. All right.
You want me to show these people what's up?
Yeah.
I'll show them what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Now that OC can't interrupt my beautiful TA, we're gonna all make lots of money. He's not gonna give you FOMO. It's gonna be a good day. So I'm long right now. Beautiful retest coming back into this area here. We got VWAP holding us up nice here. Currently long. Hit TP1. Okay. A little bit of FOMO. I'm just trying to give OC FOMO so he presses buy as well. I'm long right now. Just so you can see quick TP1, closed out a little bit, let the rest ride kind of deal. Nice order block in here. Okay, continuation up, retest of orb. So I showed you guys everything's pointing this direction. Okay, so you guys have seen this a million times. I don't have to explain this to you by now. Come on, we got order block. Okay, so when do we get long? At the top of the order block. Where does our stop loss go? Below the closest low to the order block. Okay, so it goes below this low. We get long in here. Okay, we got VWAP in here. We got the order block, VWAP, and we have orb. Okay, so we have broken out of the orb. Everybody got bullish. We had a rejection level. We came back down, and now we are pumping, baby. So a little bit of patience in here. And as you can see, this morning was an absolute gong show. Okay, and we didn't take any trades because it was shit. Okay, so now that everybody's got their hopium panties on for the FOMC tomorrow, I'm going to scare you a little bit because this is what we should prepare for. Okay, VWAP slap. Just long off the order block and VWAP. Off of, expecting this to hold and to continue off of this uptrend, okay? Since mitigating the highs, okay? We are now bullish. However, the concern is that we've only swept this high here. So cautiously optimistic for continuation, okay? I will be putting my stop to entry as soon as I have a higher low and continuation, hopefully. But a nice little trade nonetheless, looking for continuation up here. Now, there are some concerns, everybody, so let's not be too bullish. Remember we said yesterday, as long as we hold this low. Now, I did say the best trade in my repertoire would be the sweep of the lows continuation, right? So what did we get this morning? We got a sweep of the lows and continuation. Now, for me, you guys know I would prefer that. So we have like a clear invalidation, entry, all of that stuff. Okay, but we got a dip of the toes and an absolute piss missile to the moon. Okay, so there's other ways that we teach you here on how to get in on a very aggressive uptrend, retest the previous highs, right? Order block retest like we just did, VWAP, right? So you guys seen how I justify getting long here, right? So retest of previous highs is in there as well. Continuation trade. We always look for that, right? Same with the way down. If we're looking the way down, We look for order blocks on the way down and retest of previous lows. Works the exact same on the way down. Look at that. Okay, look at this. You get short here. You get short here, right? Continuation trades. Okay, you retested the lows in here. So that's all available for you guys there. And you get a pump to Valhalla. Now, why do we get long here? Because we are looking for, because we have broken structure here, we have a change in character in here. We are looking for continuation trades now. Okay. Also, we are also looking for that trade because we've done a job this morning. We have taken the liquidity. Anybody who's long in here, they have been slapped, okay? They just got a big old noodle slap across the face. And now we are eating beautiful, beautiful gourmet Top Chef burritos on the way up here, okay? Because we've taken all of the goods and we've made it into a beautiful tortilla, and now we are going to the moon, okay? Or in my Italian culture, we have taken the Parmigiano, we have spread it all over the place, and now we are making the money, okay? We are not Giorgio no money, we are Giorgio with the money, okay? So we are going, yes. See, I understand the hand signals, though. See, beautiful. But at the end of the day, what are we right now, everybody? We are range bound. Keep it simple, okay? We are looking to buy here as long as we held the lows. Very, very easy, right? You can pull your fixed range volume profile tool in here, and you can see we are in a blob of volume. You can also use your predictive ranges. I always click the wrong one, man. It's this one. On like I think the 12-minute, or was it the 5 that works really well for this range? No, the 12-minute works good. Look at the 12-minute here, or the 15 if you don't have the paid version. Okay. And you can see we came into discount. Now we are in the hot dog bun. However, because we tapped the discount, we can buy the hot dog bun with confirmation. That's the only time you're touching the wiener, okay? Is when you have confirmation of, you know, we did a job. Now we can buy the wiener and look to take it to the top of the top bun, okay? So buy low, sell high, right? So we have our range bound now. So we're looking to rotate to the range. If we are able to close above this high here, we can look for a breakout retest continuation trade, just like we did right here. Okay, we can look for the same thing here. However, until proven otherwise, we look to sell up here. We should be looking to sell up here. So the higher we go right now, hopefully higher so I make more money, the better it is, right? You can see here, changing character, uptrend now. So you're looking to buy this. The equilibrium called this perfectly. The equal high called this perfectly. The VWAP called this perfectly. And the order block called it perfectly. I couldn't give you more confluence than that. I don't know. Maybe the stars are pointing to the left, and that means up. I don't have more. This is like everything you should need. And then all you have to do in a situation like this is manage your risk, okay? So you should have clear invalidation points. Mine was this wick right here, okay? If we close below this wick here, I am wrong, and this is a trade setup, right? So I fit my 1% within this area, and I look to make a 3-to-1 here. I've paid myself early. I've guaranteed some profits, and off to Valhalla we go, okay? If we're looking at other markets, there was a big tell this morning, okay? This was the tell. We dumped this morning, okay? And it looks pretty little on here, but we did dump this morning. The NASDAQ recovered aggressively, okay? So whenever you're intraday trading, we saw this all morning, bleeding out, bleeding out, bleeding out. No reason to long. But this baby, this V-shaped recovery, which we got on Bitcoin. If we zoom in on Bitcoin on the 3-minute here, the V-shaped recovery, right? Also, if you do copy my critical levels, you would have had this puppy, man. I don't know if I could spoil you anymore, but you have my beautiful red level, Alexo Crypto red level that we did hold, okay? And this is, I have white and red levels all throughout my charts. The red ones are very important. And as you can see, a beautiful hold, okay? Holding key level of support, pushing up, bullish engulfing, pushing up, full V-shape recovery. You could have longed here because you have recovered the V-shape and you're uptrending now and you're looking to mitigate highs. You could have longed here and taken this up, right? For me, I was having breakfast with my son, which is much more important than pressing buy and sell. That's why we trade, right? So the mitigation of the high, changing character here. You have V-shaped recovery, continuation. As soon as you, one of my rules is if you are, okay, so if one of my rules is how do I justify, what is my rule to long this thing? Because it's just going crazy, right? My rule is if we have done a job, right, which means we swept that low. So let's look at this here. We have a low, right? We have this range in here. This would be our range that we have right now. Okay? And then we coming down this morning, we sweep that low, and we return and close back within this range. That's justification to take a long, if you have the comfort. Because you've done your job, you've come for the low, and you've closed back within the range, you can look to take this and rotate to the highs of the range. Okay? You need to have rules. You're not buying this thing as it's fucking dumping, or so you're going to get ruined. I promise you that. The same with the way on the way up. If you had bought this thing on the way up, right, I guarantee you probably didn't have my sell walls, right? But I had sell walls. Look at the sell wall. Boom, sweep of the high, sell wall. Perfect rejection, right? I'm anticipating that. Okay? I'm anticipating that. And look, you buy up here, it's coming right back to wreck you, right? Okay. You wait for the cooling off. You got to be a bit patient. You set your trap, okay? Order block, VWAP, orb, previous high. This is where you're looking to buy. Right? That is a planned trade, right? Buying here is not a planned trade. Closing back within the range is a planned trade because that's a rule. We've done the job. We've come back in. We're looking to rotate to the highs of the range. You can buy that. Okay? Depends on what time frame you are trading, JR, but I would suggest like a 5-minute candle close back in the range. So you're actually buying in here. Or your 5-minute candle close was here, yeah. You don't buy this candle. Even though you're right, this would have been a great trade. You would have had the confluence of my key level here if you did justify it, that that would be your like major stop. But like I said, you want, because at the end of the day, if you don't have this candle close rule, this will keep going and you will be ruined. Because I know you're not putting your stop loss in on the little order block on the thing on the side of your exchange. I know you're not doing that. I know you're putting in the trade, then you're putting in your stop loss down below. I know you're doing it because I do it. And you're not going to be fast enough and you're going to be really red, really fast. Okay, so be safe with that. Okay? What else do I got for you guys? It remains the same. FOMC tomorrow. Okay? A nice little push back into the range. This concerns me, okay? FOMC tomorrow, and we're holding. Guys, whenever I come to a chart, where is liquidity? It's the first thing I ask. Okay, we're on a 4-hour chart. Where is liquidity? Most recent liquidity? I would say it's all here. If I take someone off the streets and ask them, where's the most people getting into the trades recently? It's all right below us. And it's holding right now without any significant retrace. Like, I wouldn't call this significant retrace today, right? I think a significant retrace would be the gap in here, okay? This order block in here, okay? 18,000. That would be significant. And then they go. And you think they won't do it to us tomorrow? You better watch some more FOMC meetings. He's going to cough and the market's going to shift. Okay, listen for when Jerome Powell coughs. I tell you, the coughs tell everything. Okay. However, be prepared. You know, if you are in a position going into tomorrow, I think I might stream it. Depends on how I feel, but I might stream it. But it's always a fun, risky event. The guy says up, down, all around, funky town, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It doesn't matter what he says. The market goes stupid. Okay, so be prepared for that. The SPY swept down this morning. Okay, hasn't even filled this full gap yet. Nice push up here. Where's the liquidity, right? And you would honestly, you as an investor and someone who wants this thing to go up, you prefer it to go down right now. Okay? If it comes up here, it's just creating a bigger fall. Okay? If we sweep this high here and then we start to dump, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. Okay? Because that means we're coming for the lows. If we retrace, that's just a higher low continuation trade. Okay. But if we sweep and dump, we might be in serious trouble. So be aware of that. I'm closing a little bit more of my trade right now. Maybe some of you guys took that long with me. We got equal highs right now up into a key level of resistance. Stop loss to entry, okay? A prepared trader is a profitable trader, right? So this now looks like this. And I'm 50% out of the trade, looking to come up into here. Big resistance, 95,200. Okay? That's all I got. I can't hear you, OC. But you're still handsome.
Love it, bro.
You can hear me, so I don't have to give you hand signals. But I can't hear you, man.
All right. Let me take over. So I'm going to be taking over.
I'm going to try my speaker.
Maybe.
Maybe it'll work.
Testing. Yeah, could be. Could be your headphones. All right. In the meantime, let's take over. Why not? Perfect. So there we go. It is bouncing already. I do remember that telling you guys that we're in an important zone. Just a quick reminder. Alex was on the 5 minutes. I'm on the 4 hour. So the 5 minutes for me is not that big.
Volume all the way up. I got your user volume all the way up.
And nothing. That is weird. All right. So I was telling you guys, so at this point, for me, that movement is not that hugely important. It's one more candle in here. Remember that we are on a... Ooh.
Oh, shit. I moved you to audience. I'm just clicking all the buttons. I'm sorry, bro.
All good, bro.
I'll stop.
That's fine. That's fine. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
No, shut up.
It's still not. I guess you're not. All right. Let me share
you
really
quick. Too much power, bro. Too much power. Too much responsibility, bro.
Oh man. Well, it is what it is. Perfect. So at this point, we are bouncing out of a support area right here. This is the 4 hour. I could be expecting something like that. Although, look at that, we are into a range. All right. If you're gonna be trading the lower time frame, I mean, we could absolutely go to that lower time frame, to the 5 minutes, for example. And let's keep an eye. Where is the previous resistance, right? So let's do it. And I think I F up something. Yes, I did. Let me just get rid of this. All right, perfect. And if you take a look at, we should be having a trend line or a resistance somewhere around here. All right. So look at that. We're maxing out at this point. All right. So that is going to be the first area to look for if you're in lower time frames. If you're in higher time frames, it's just exactly the same. We want to start breaking throughout that little line, right, to start making a bigger movement. That bigger movement, and that is because we're just breaking into the green cloud, all right? Being the green cloud usually means that the next upcoming immediate movement should be to the upside, right? So we still have all of this zone to move up until we get to the zero line, where we're going to be assuming rejection, all right? But when we are at the zero line right here on your oscillator, that's when we need to come back and revisit what's going on to start speculating for a breakthrough or to confirm the rejection. All right. So basically, this movement could represent this movement in here, right? So just be careful, because at this point we will be creating that sort of like head and shoulders, and the support zone remains the same. All right, let's bring up a couple of other indicators in here, right? Let me just get rid of everything that I have manually drawn, and we have an area of support in here. This is a liquidity zone. This is important because in fact, for me, liquidity zones and order blocks are one of the most important, two of the most important indicators in our suite, and I always trade on those. Another important thing, look at that. I have at the same time the VPVR, sorry, the POC, money flow POC, and also a trend line in here. You see that? So we're bouncing off the trend line, going to the already hitting that money flow POC, right? And so, well, I believe that we're gonna go a little bit higher up. Let's see what else do we have in here. Let me see if I can hide everything. Let's see if I can turn on anything else. We are into a loud order block. So what's going on in here? Let's layer out, right? So we are into a liquidity zone where we bounce up, and we are into a loud order block that is very bearish, right? That doesn't mean that we cannot pierce through, right? And also that doesn't mean that we cannot go through, because it still have a 10% bullish, right? But the more we touch it to the upside.
The
You
more
did?
you touch it, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. The more you touch it, the better. The better it gets. That's what she said, right? All right. So
That's
excuse
exactly what she said.
I did do that. Man, that's amazing. What was it? What was it?
I had to go into my settings, into my audio settings, and change it in my voice area. So it was all correct in here. Voice and video. I had to go into voice and video, and I had to change the output device into my headphones, because I guess when I updated my computer yesterday, it did the herp and derp. So in here, I had to go into here and do it.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
How about that
That's
long,
fantastic.
baby? It's printing. Let's go.
Let's go. So we have a loud order block, a very bearish loud order block. Again, doesn't mean that we cannot go through it, right? But we still have that 10% bullish that is driving it, right? And as you can see, the more that we go into that loud order block, look at that rejection. They created a rejection because we're going to this 90% bearish. Ignore the position of bearish and bullish. This doesn't mean that the bearish is above and the bullish is below. No. It's just the way that we show you the equilibrium. How can I say where is the bearish concentration? Just by looking at where the rejection start happens, all right? Another way to start looking inside the order block to see where most of those orders are located, it is one of my favorite tools. This is the, where is it? Volume profile bar magnifier order blocks, right? So when you turn it on, you'll see now where the orders are concentrated within one single order block. Just so you know, this order block section, the volume bar magnifier, I configure huge order blocks because this is the tool that I use to catch falling knives. Caveat, I don't always use it, but I keep an eye where that falling knife could be getting stuck, right? So just so you know. So basically, I believe that we're going to be bouncing up and down for a little bit more because we are between a rock and a hard place in here until we'll see either this oscillator breakthrough or reject from the zero line. So be careful. So far, the 4 hours, there's no entry. Our next entry could be all the way down here if we're piercing through our zero line. But so far, be patient. I believe the next one is going to be up here for a short. But it remains to be seen. So other than that, that's what I got. So let's wrap up today's class. We're going to be having a lot of volatility. especially for the numbers that they will be going out soon. And as Alex mentioned, look for that cough. Look for that cough. So I don't know what's up with that guy, but I just laughed out loud so hard every time. Every time you remind me that. That is just amazing, bro. I don't know if some rich dude's just playing out with the markets, or if it's an insider actually. But yeah,
Wild.
I know, wild. All right, Alex, would you like to say the goodbyes and then I wrap up the class?
Absolutely. Arfine, if you are wanting Sui, I have the key levels over here. We are bouncing off a key level right now. 318, $3, and 280. Those are my key levels. Looking for a bounce and continuation up here. However, a big rejection. Okay, so look for $3 to hold, my friend. That's how I would keep it. I'll send you my levels over here in the side. And guys, have a wonderful day. Prepare. It's gonna be choppy. It's gonna be not easy trading until really this news comes in. Okay, so be patient. Use good risk management. Take high probability trade setups. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.